Alright, in this episode, Dodge Viper oil cooler upgrades. Stay tuned. Alright guys, you can see I've already got the front end of my Viper pulled apart here. Most of it was done for the engine install. The bumper cover comes off. There's a few screws on the outside here, a few on the bottom, a couple on top. You just kind of peel it off. Then there's this fiberglass bumper bar that just comes off pretty quickly. Little plastic pieces that pop off. There's your oil cooler. And there's a couple of lines running down the side of the radiator back to your oil filter adapter. And those come loose pretty easy. The factory oil cooler, it's just a basic tube style. Looks like 1-inch tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. Yeah, it's like 8 tubes. And we're going to be replacing that with something better. It's not a bad oil cooler, but Dodge is subject to the bean counters a little bit more than some other higher end companies. And so we're going to be replacing this guy. It's probably full of trash right now anyway. We don't want to reuse it. So let me show you what we got. Alright, so we got this brand new 72 row oil cooler from Improved Racing. Alright, so this is it here. As you can see, the in and out over here on the side, just like the tube style, but we have these two long tubes going across here, and then the oil filters through these plates. So instead of 8 tubes all the way across, we've got 72 smaller tubes. So you end up with less oil pressure drop through your oil cooler, and of course better oil pressure to your engine. Comes with a couple of O-ring fittings, so let's get this thing installed. So there's a couple of bolts here. Alright, so now I need to fab up a couple of brackets that will hold this thing in place right there. Oh, that's going to be sweet. That's almost a perfect fit. That won't require much fabrication. Yeah. Nice. Alright, so here's my adapter bracket that I made. You'll have to excuse my crappy TIG welding there. But we're going to drop that in there, and we'll bolt that together with some 1/4-inch nuts. And then I'll be able to drill a couple of holes on the front to mount it to my existing cross member. Alright, well, I wound up only using 1 screw back here instead of 2 because the second screw is interfering with this bracket. It's so close, and I don't really want to weld those together. So with that angle aluminum, I think I'll be steady enough. It looks pretty good, so I'm just going to drill a hole here and down there, and we'll plug this thing in. Alright, I went ahead and welded on another piece of aluminum just to make sure I didn't have any tear through on this one piece here. You could go to a bigger angle aluminum, maybe 1.5 inches or something like that, but then it'd be a lot more trimming to do on the back side. I don't know. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, whatever you want. But it is in there. Now it's just a matter of hooking up my 2 lines in and out. Alright, well, here's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I decided to go ahead and weld that tab to my bracket, despite my lacking TIG skills. But it is in there. And I ground it down so I can get my bolts flush against the aluminum. So yeah, shoot me some dimensions if any of you guys want me to weld you up a gas tank. Yeah. Alright, so I'm hooking up my out. I want it's out from the engine into the cooler. So I want the cooler to fill up on the bottom, go up to get rid of all the air bubbles, and then go back to the engine through the top. I've got two hoses. This is the longer of the two. Oh man, that's gonna be tight. Oh, I think I need to make up another hose. Needs to be about 1 inch longer. Crap. Alright guys, well I don't know why you guys are still tuning in right now, because you've seen me make fittings before. But here it goes. And I got my new fitting in from Dark Horse Performance, eBay. And we'll drop this over the top. Easier said than done. Sometimes it requires a little persuasion. Alright, it's going. So I'm going to tape this up and we're going to try to screw this thing on in a little bit more. And it is hot out here in the garage today. July 1st. It's supposed to be like 99 degrees here in Austin. Alright, go in. And you want to push your hose until you see it get up against those threads. You can't push it too far because of the positive stop. But you can certainly push it not enough. I'm almost there. Good. All right. I'll put a little tape on my fitting. Line up the flats. I don't use aluminum wrenches, so these things always get a little bit bunged up. And since my last one was galled beyond use, I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize on there today. Anti-seize on those threads. The aluminum does tend to gall. Alright, you know me, I love that WD. And it started. Alright, well I couldn't find my BFW, so I got my LFW to do the wrench in here. This is going to screw all the way in till you have a fairly closed gap. That looks pretty solid. Time to install. Well, once I take the tape off. Alright, let's go up here on top so you guys can see. There you go. And there's the new lines hooking up to the oil filter adapter. 5/8 it is. Alright, so I'm going to finally install my row radiator hoses. Now I know I'm not installing this cross brace in here yet. I'm just trying to get this thing fired up for you guys. But normally when you're putting a car together, you install your cross brace before your upper radiator hose. But when you're fishing, you inject your wires out. Sometimes it's easier to start from the back because you can see which bank is right and which bank is left. A little bit easier. So you're grabbing the right wires. Oh shit. This one. Looks like it goes over there. So I got these two mixed up. There we go. This is one. Alright, I'm just putting some water in the radiator for now. Got maybe a half gallon of antifreeze, not much. 'Cause that's all I had. And I've got a leak. Alright, I mopped up the antifreeze. You don't want to leave that antifreeze lying around. If your pets get into it, that stuff will shut down their kidneys and your pets will die a slow, miserable death. Clean up your antifreeze. Alright, I need a battery for my Viper. So I'm going to steal the battery out of the Trans Am. Alright, so for all you non-Viper owners out there, the battery on a Viper is located behind a bunch of plastic behind the driver's side rear wheel well. That's a tongue twister. So anyway, positive, negative, hanging down. This is an amplifier connection, so let's hook this thing up real quick. Well, I don't like the way this top post Optima battery is fitting back here. I've got caps for the positive, but I'm just afraid that the vibration and stuff is going to wear through it, and if it hits the frame, we might have a big short. So I'll use this to fire up the Viper, but I'll have to get another battery to start driving it around. Alright, got the GoPro going. And I got the main camera going here. I'm not sure if this thing is going to fire up or not. I think I've got everything connected. And after so long, all you can do is jump in and turn the key. me figure out what's going on here. All right, we're going to try this again. Apparently that plug that I said goes for the alternator also powers the fuel pump. So let's clear the engine compartment and we'll try this again. Okay. Here we go. Alright, let's try this again. Had a couple of spark plug wires mislabeled. 7 and 9, bad handwriting. Well, it does not want to idle right now. I think my idle air control solenoid is screwed up. It's burning all the oil off the manifolds and headers right now. That's normal. I need to check it for vacuum leaks. Actually, it won't be any vacuum leaks if it won't idle. Chances are it's not getting enough air. I'm having to play with the throttle inside the car. So I doubt there's a vacuum leak. But I don't think my idle air control solenoid is working. This is the one I took off the Trans Am in my other video. And it may not be a direct fit. May not be a direct fit. Let's try it again. Burn off some of that oil. Oh, it does bark. Woof, woof, woof. A really good oil pressure. Water temp's coming up to temperature, so I need to get out there and watch my overflow bottles. Sounds good. know I missed you guys at the track last week. My friend Chris told me you guys were asking about me. You've been watching the videos on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys again real soon.